All right. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited that you're here. This is Kate Steinbacher with the Coaches Console, and I am so happy to be able to introduce you to one of our top 11 boot camp winners, Patty Maples. Patty has worked hard. Out of 250 boot campers, Patty came in as one of the top 11. That's huge. Now you might say, what the heck is boot camp? Well, boot camp is a program that we run at Coaches Console that helps coaches like Patty, beginning coaches, you might been a coach for a while, get your business up and running professionally, automated, and ready to rock. Patty knows now she is really ready to rock. Patty, it's a pleasure to have you here today. Thanks so much for being here.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Kate.
Great. Where are you from, Patty?
Well, I live in a little town called Berryville, about 60 miles from DC area. Retired out here about 2 years ago. And
nice.
yes, it's in the Shenandoah area, really not too far from Roanoke. So
that's right.
Yes.
We're almost neighbors. That's great. Well, let me ask you this. What made you sign up for the Easy Breezy Bootcamp in the first place?
Well, I was given some marketing information, I think through you. You all sent some information through, I think, emails or whatever, and I started to read it. I was at the point of wanting to develop my website, and I had done some pictures, and I'd been looking at what I want to put in the website. And when I came across your opportunity, I thought, my gosh, this is everything. You made me think not just the website I needed, but the business tools that I could use. So I got so much more than a website with Bootcamp. Thank you very much. It's just wonderful. It's wonderful.
Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. Well, let me ask you a bit about you. Like, what's your niche? Who does it you serve?
My niche is executive and conflict coaching, and I serve first level, second level, and executives, mostly in public service that are dealing with challenges in working in the federal, state, and county governments. As you know now, they're in a stage of transition. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot going on. I just got off a call this morning where I was working with the first level supervisor and was able, I think, to help him navigate some challenges that he's facing. We were able to talk about a conversation that he was going to have with his supervisor. And I think he walked away from that conversation feeling very energized and empowered and knew exactly what he needed to say to his boss.
Beautiful.
So it's been a wonderful niche for me. And I say conflict coaching because I do have a background in mediation and have dealt with employee relation issues, discrimination complaints, things along those lines. So that does come up with supervisors and managers that have to deal with those kinds of issues. So I help them navigate those concerns as well.
Nice. So having that background makes you specifically situated in the right place for this business. That's great.
Yeah,
congratulations.
It's a perfect niche for me, I think. I spent 25 years in human resources and human capital and an EEO in various federal agencies and worked with managers all the time. So this is just almost doing the same thing, but with a different twist, to say the least.
Sure. And you get to be your own boss.
Absolutely. I love it. I wish I'd done this many years ago.
Well, there you go. Well, that's great. Well, let me ask again about Bootcamp. So there were 10 live webinars. There were 4 clinic calls. You had your own coach. There was a Facebook group. There were Monday calls. What parts of all of the bonuses and package was most helpful for you to become one of the rock stars?
Well, Kate, as you know, it's a real equation. You need all of it in order to, I think, understand what you need to do to move forward. But I think I benefited the most from the 10 webinars because it kept me on track. You present it in such a way that it is step by step. And you give us a homework assignment so we can just follow it very methodically. I was at a point in which I really needed to have my website up and running. So I jumped many steps beyond other people. And I had to kind of go back and fix my mistakes, so to speak, on some of my issues. But that's okay. I was able to get it out. I was able to have managers look at my site and look at my profile, and I was able to get business. So if a person isn't in a hurry, my recommendation would be just trust, follow it step by step. You will get there. I think you said that many times, but I lived it. I lived it.
I was just going to say, it's so much more powerful coming from you because you lived it. That's great. And I like the concept that, well, you got off track a little bit or ahead of the track a little bit, but you're able to backtrack with the recordings and get on track. One of the things we always say in the class is your timing is perfect. Absolutely. And we must believe that. Good for you, Patty.
Well, there's many webinars I want to go back and listen to again. And
sure.
I do that, which is fabulous. So many training opportunities, you only have that one time. And I can go all the time, which is fabulous. Right. Thank you for that.
As long as you stay a member of Coaches Console, you have full boot camp at your disposal. That's great.
Perfect.
Cool. So, you know, a lot of people, and hey, I've fallen prey to this as well. There's so many amazing things that come at you from all the different gurus out there. What was it that helped you stay focused so that you really made the most of boot camp for yourself?
I think having the group, you and Melinda, as well as the Facebook group, we were all contributing and helping each other, and we got really engaged, and we still are engaged in the Facebook group. Yeah. And just knowing that other people were doing the same thing I was doing on every Monday and Wednesday, and sometimes Thursday, sometimes Tuesday, and to just keep up.
Yeah.
So that really was cool.
So you made it a priority in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I did not walk the dog between 4 and 5. He had to wait.
Our apologies to your dog, because I'm sure that's difficult sometimes. So tell me, what results, I mean, you know, tangible things have you realized as a result of going through boot camp?
Well, I feel as though I'm very equipped to be an executive coach. I'm using the toolbox, everything right now. My clients have access to their client log, which they use. They already are scheduling meetings and coaching sessions with me without me having to go back and forth with emails. Nice. I'm invoicing using the Coaches Console. So it's doing the work that I don't have to spend a lot of time doing day in and day out. Beautiful. And it's done very professionally. I have a logo, and it's on every piece of paper that they get. And yeah, I feel very equipped, and I know I'm a good coach. But that's just a seal of approval, I think, to my clients, that this woman knows what she's doing.
Nice. Ooh, I love that comment. A seal of approval. Yeah. We're all great coaches. We go to coaching school or however we learn coaching, and we're passionate, but being a good business owner is a whole different story, and you're learning about that.
It is. It absolutely is.
Very cool. Did you get any extra clients as a result, or have you grown your mailing list? Have any of those things made changes for you?
I did. I got 5 additional clients.
Woohoo!
Which is wonderful, and I'm still working with them a long term, which is fabulous. Nice. I actually developed 3 free gifts, which is wonderful. And I'm growing my list. That's a little slower process for me because I'm not doing as many networking opportunities, but I'm trying to get back into that. Good. Yeah, it is. The timing is perfect. I'm just doing what I can, you know, exactly. Methodically and intentionally. I know what to do now.
Yes, Patty. And that methodically and intentionally and consistently, one step at a time. That's what gets us to win the race, always. That's really cool. So what was your biggest aha moment during the boot camp?
I think my biggest aha moment was really combining my 2 niches, executive and conflict coaching, which I think is very unique. And that came about with some conversations I had with some of the boot campers, which was kind of interesting, and another colleague of mine that brought it up to my attention. So I was able to combine that, and I feel really like that is a unique niche and something that I do really, really well. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the reasons why I've got my most recent clients, because they saw that combination. Nice.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Mm-hmm. What was the toughest part of boot camp for you? I mean, there's a lot of things we do. You have to create a free gift. You have to get your website set up, all of your contracts and agreements. What was the toughest part for you?
But the most difficult piece for me was really the technical piece, and I didn't have a virtual assistant.
Okay.
But I used your IT support staff like crazy. I know they just were like, "Oh my gosh, he emailed me again," and I just kind of
They're
went like,
they're patient and they really
"I
do
know
love to
you."
help.
I mean, it was almost like I had somebody next to me all the time. That was how responsive they were, and they
Wonderful.
really walked through some issues that I had really struggled with. For some reason, I had a real problem with the opt-in and some other things, and they just helped me tremendously. So
Beautiful.
that's the hardest part. I could write the free gift. I could, write the script and the
Hmm.
language. That's not hard for me. It was the technical piece,
Got it.
and they made
Hmm.
it really easy. What you put together is really easy to use,
And,
even for some.
everyone has different levels, where some of us are, way in the beginning and some of us could be coders, but, it's a big system. So I'm glad to hear that the support team was really there for you. That's great. So, what would you say your confidence level in business was before boot camp, and has it changed? Is it different now?
It is different now. I feel as though I'm working at a much higher level. I feel really confident that the fees, for example, I'm charging is fair and reasonable.
Nice.
That asking for a longer term coaching package makes sense for the client. It isn't just for me.
Yeah.
That's when they're going to benefit the most. And you
Mhm.
all really did plant those seeds to me, because I think what I would be doing is one coaching session at a time,
Mhm.
then asking, do you want another coaching session? Well, that just doesn't work really well for the client or for me.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I think that's
Yeah.
probably the best answer to your question.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things we teach in boot camp, both Melinda and I, is that, you know, it, if a person is looking for transformation, like the kind of transformation that Patty is offering, you can't do it in a session. It takes time to first recognize and evaluate what you're doing that's not working, then create the strategy with your coach to create a new way of doing things, and then to create the habit. So what we always say is make sure your coaching packages are long enough so that your clients truly get results. And obviously that's working for you, Patty. That's great. Good for you. I'm glad to hear that. Um, Now that you've finished the program, your business is set up like a well-oiled machine, what advantages are that to you? What are the advantages? Are there any?
Oh, yeah, many, many advantages. My system is working. It really is a repository for me to go to for everything. It's my to-do list. It's my calendar and my meetings that are scheduled, where my client notes are, all the emails I've sent. Different clients are there. Um, I have several newsletters I've sent out, so I can go back and look at what I've sent out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's all there. I'm not looking through stacks of paper, if
Oh,
you can
I know that.
imagine. I'm just so much more organized. I'm so much more
Nice.
organized. And I'm an organized person, but I would not have been able to manage or master the IT piece at all. I would never have been able to create a dashboard. There's no way. Not on my own.
Me either.
It's wonderful. It's right there.
Good. So you have all the bits and pieces of your business right in one place, kind of like a one-stop shop. So you always know where to look for everything. And that's got to feel awesome. Good for you, Patty. So what are your next steps? How are you going to market yourself? And what marketing techniques have you chosen, and why specifically for you?
Well, I'm intrigued with developing courses. I'd like to develop a course on conflict resolution, um,
Mm,
a course on getting ready for meetings. I know that sounds very simplistic, but guess what?
no.
Been good enough. We're not organized enough typically in businesses to sometimes even be organized for businesses for our meetings. Um, I'm impressed with how you all are able to do that. I've seen how you've done webinars. So
Mm-hmm.
you've given me a taste of how I can actually do the same thing with a different twist.
Cool.
So that's
Very cool.
my next
Yeah.
step.
And I'll tell you, giving people information about how to run a meeting, you are so right. That is such a great target, because I've been to so many meetings as an executive coach, and you're like, I cannot believe they get anything done.
And they
They're
don't.
disorganized. There's no agenda. People are on their cell phone. It's crazy. So good one. I can't wait for that to come out. That's going to be a good one. So you've done it. You made it into the top 10. What would you tell a newer coach or even a coach that's been around for a while about getting there, about making it happen, about making their business happen?
Just take an opportunity. Take the opportunity. Join the boot camp. Trust Kate and Melinda. They know what they're doing, truly. And ask yourself those hard questions that Kate and Melinda are asking you, and you will be able to define your niche, develop a website, build a list, do the networking that you want to do in order to gain credibility and get clients. And to really take advantage of the IT support staff, the Facebook group, Kate and Melinda. Don't be embarrassed. No question is too ridiculous, because I came up with all the ridiculous questions. I was first in line. Ask your support staff. And just don't be embarrassed. Ask the question. And if you really want to coach, this is the place to be. I'm convinced, Kate. I'm totally convinced.
Thank you so much, Patty. Well, tell me a little bit more before we end. I just want to know who out there that's listening to this, who should be connecting with you, and what's your website?
My website is Executive and Conflict Coaching Solutions.
Okay.
And right now it's just me, but I have another person that wants to join me, which is really exciting to do it with a partner. Is going to be fabulous. Wonderful. Who has different skill sets than I do. So we're going to be really a dynamite team.
Awesome.
I'm really excited about that. My ideal client, I think, is a first or second level supervisor in the federal government who wants to be a really good supervisor, wants to be connected to their subordinates. They want to complete projects and assignments well. They want to be good communicators. They want to establish connections and coalitions with other people in their organization. And I can help them do that. I know I can do that. I've done it.
When they establish those connections and coordinations, because I know how hard what happens? What's the result they get when they do that?
They become, I hate to use this word because it's overly used, as empowered, but they are strengthened. They can ask favors of people. They can help other people. They are more capable to do their own work. And just recently, as I shared earlier, I've had some extraordinary conversations with supervisors who walk away from the coaching understanding what they need to do. They're able to develop a one-page white paper to give to their boss and say, this is what I want to do. This is where I need your support. This is how we're going to make it happen. Beautiful. They're not just confused. And it's hard to get the time and attention of an executive above you. So if you're not prepared, how do you think they're going to respond to you if you're not prepared in that meeting?
Yeah. Wow, that person must have walked away much more respected by his boss and his colleagues because he was now so well prepared. That's beautiful. So executiveandconflictcoaching.com. Patty Maples, one of the top 11 winners of our Easy Breezy Bootcamp 2017. We are so excited to announce you to the world because, Patty, you have worked hard for this and you have created something very special. So please check it out, executiveandconflictcoaching.com. It's Patty Maples, and sign up for her free gift because you'll learn something really good. I've seen it and I think it's fabulous. Thank you so much, Patty.
Thank you, Kate. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.